Hey there, welcome to the latest issue of Hiker Homily. How come it's been years now and I'm still saying issue instead of episode? Years I've been doing this now. What, 3 episode of Hiker Homily? Hey, this time I want to talk a little bit about hiker information. I guess would be the title of it, the what we're talking about. But what I mean by that is, like, I'm not like talking about like your personal information. I mean, that kind of stuff's important too. You should secure it and all that kind of thing. But I'm talking about things like your location on a day-to-day basis, especially in the realm of doing like long distance hiking when you're going to be really in the backcountry and for how long, where you're at and stuff like that. And here's an example of why I'm talking about it. Take a look at that. This was posted by someone who was concerned, and it was also posted, by the way, on a Reddit subgroup as well by that person's, I think it was son, said it was her son. So it affected a couple of people and things like that. But that's one of the ways I kind of know it's legit, is you've got 2 separate people talking about the same thing. But basically, this woman, she gets a ride from somebody, as that happens a lot with long distance through hiking. The trailheads are not always close enough to the towns. I mean, you could walk it, but wow, what a pain in the butt. You've just done a 20-mile day. You finally get to the trailhead that's on a highway, and the supply town, the next resupply town, is another 5 to 6 down the road. That's wow. You know, if you can get a ride, awesome. And there are trail angels that help provide that. There's always Uber if you have the signal, and so things like that. So this person, I don't know if it was a trail angel or what, or just you were thumbing it and that was the person who happened to pick you up and gave her a ride into town. Didn't seem to be like that big of a deal. Kind of like I say, it's a normal thing. And then come to find out, this person, after dropping her off in town, starts asking around information about this hiker, because I guess she gave, her trail name or whatever. And so there's a security thing there, I guess. It's unfortunate. I mean, if I'm getting a ride from a trail angel or something, and they're like, yeah, so you guys have trail names, what's your trail name? I'm going to tell them my trail name, right? But then again, I'm a guy, maybe it's a little different, I don't know. But yeah, so this person knew at least enough about her to ask questions. Hey, there's a person, she looks like this, trail name is this. I'm trying to catch up to her, was his story, I guess. And people were giving him information. Oh yeah, I saw her, blah blah blah, a day ago, she's at blah blah blah. So this person kept checking up until figured out she was going to be in a certain area near another, trailhead road area, civilization basically, that was only, a quick day hike for this person. So he went out there. Who knows for what reason? Fortunately, we probably will never find out. I sure hope so. Because when he did get out there and find her on the trail, she wasn't alone. Thank goodness. And she did think it was odd that this person showed up. That's the person that gave me a ride. And all of a sudden he's out here. And she starts hearing from other hikers, oh yeah, that guy was asking about you. We thought you were hiking with him. So who knows what this guy had in mind? I have no idea. I don't have a clue. Could it be something fairly innocent? Maybe he had just a little innocent crush, was just going to say hi to her. Sure, I guess it's a possibility. But you know what else is a possibility, right? A lot of horrible stuff. So, wow. And that's just one tale. That's not the only thing that's happened out there. This isn't just one anecdotal evidence. That's the only thing we've ever heard of. No, this kind of stuff goes on all the time. So that's what we're talking about, is that kind of hiker information. It's huge. I mean, I do it myself, obviously, right here, to put your trip out on YouTube, especially the big trail hikers, the through hikers that are doing the National Scenic Trails. That's a huge thing, and I'm glad it's a huge thing. I love doing that. I like it better than network television or any of those other kind of things. Half the time, my wife is watching some streaming show that's pretty cool and stuff like that. But I'm on my computer watching through hikers do different things on different trails because I just love that kind of stuff. I love it. So it's cool that that's a thing. But I have noticed, and this is also a thing and a good thing, that a lot of those hikers understand that they need to put a time delay in what they release. That when they're talking about being on the Pacific Crest Trail at Campo, by the time they've posted that, they're days away from Campo. You know what I mean? Now, can someone who's really able to do the math and stuff try and coordinate and figure out, oh, okay, if they're doing about this many miles a day and they left such and such place on this day, they should be in this general. Sure, that can't be done, but at least make them do the work, I guess. I mean, you can't be 100%, but you definitely do not want to broadcast where you're at on specific days or where you're going to be. It's just, unfortunately, we live in a world where that's just, if we were all like, hey, awesome, all fellow hikers and everything was beautiful and roses and the sun shined all the time except for when it rained a little bit at night to make sure everything stayed green, that would be a beautiful world. How amazing, how awesome, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. We live in a world where we do have to hide, especially, unfortunately, if you are a woman, have to hide your exact location when you're going to be by yourself out in a vulnerable area. Totally sucks, but here we are. Welcome to planet Earth. I hope you're not that new here. And so the big thing is not just because most people are pretty good about that, right? I mean, even I do it when I'm hiking. Is when I put my videos out. And I'm some big dude walking down the trail, and some big Portuguese Polynesian guy walking down the trail. Not too many people are going to mess with me. I'm sure there are a few, but not many. Well, if you looked at my racism during hiking on the trail, you'll see that there have been some people that have decided to mess with me. What are you going to do? But for the most part, not a big deal, okay? But even I'm cautious about that kind of thing. But the big thing isn't just you giving out your info. It is, hey, fellow hikers, can we stop doing that? Let's not make that a thing. Unless it's a real obvious emergency situation somehow that you just know, okay? If I'm a hiker walking down the trail and I pass a hiker going this way, male or female, and some random person shows up a couple of hours later, hey, have you seen my buddy? She's wearing this and this and blah, blah, blah. I haven't seen anybody for a while, sorry. I don't know who the hell that guy is. So, no, I don't. I haven't seen anybody for a while. I'm just hiking, man. Yeah, unfortunately, again, it sucks that we have to, because maybe that person really is trying to catch up to this person. I get it. But they are just as likely, unfortunately, to be some weird creepo trying to catch up to this woman who's out in the middle of nowhere, or even a guy out in the middle of nowhere for whatever reason. It's just odd, and we have to think of those things, and we have to keep that in mind as fellow hikers. If it's a park ranger in full uniform and they have their ID, yeah, we're looking for such and such. They were supposed to be on this trail. Oh, yeah, no. Actually, I did see her going southbound. Oh, we thought she was going northbound, but no, she must turn around for some reason because she's going southbound now. And she's, blah, blah. I'm going to tell the authorities, things like that. But that's the thing is, people, that's working in my former career, I will tell you right now, the folks who have a mind to do harm are very creative in their sob stories to make themselves look innocent and sometimes even like a victim themselves so that they can get what they want. So you're going to hear the sob stories. Oh, it's my girlfriend, and we got separated at such and such place, and I thought I was injured, but man, I'm feeling better. I want to catch up to her. All kinds of great stories. And then you read the newspaper later that this person attacked this other person because it wasn't the girlfriend, or it was the girlfriend and they had a bad breakup. And this guy's decided to do something about that bad breakup. The things are there, and unfortunately we have to consider all those things. So as fellow hikers, it should become a common thing, unfortunately, on the trail that we don't give out information. on fellow hikers and where they're at if we know that they are likely to be out there alone and vulnerable. Okay, if I know hiker so and so is hiking with a group, okay, Glacier is hiking with a group of 6 other hikers. They're in a tramley going down the trail and stuff like that. Hey, I was in that tramley too. I don't know how far behind I am. Have you seen these people? And they can describe 1 or 2 people in the group. You know, one of them's named Glacier. He's a big dude, kind of darker skin. One of them's named so and so. One of them's named. Oh yeah. I saw that group. They're about an hour ahead of you, and they're moving at a decent pace. Okay, thanks a lot. See, that kind of stuff, we're good. That's good hiker communication to help out and stuff like that. But hey, I'm so and so's boyfriend, and I know she's out there. Have you seen? Yeah, sorry, don't have any info for you. It's crappy, but that's just how this world is, unfortunately. Yeah, it sucks that we have to even discuss that kind of thing or even bring that out and say it, and that we have to be that way. But what a world we live in, and unfortunately, the hiking trails are part of that world. They are not immune to things. There are a lot of hikers out there, and that's why sometimes things get controversial that shouldn't be controversial, like guns on the trail, this and that on the trail, doing this, bringing your kids with you, doing this, doing that on the trail. Shouldn't be any controversial, but there are people out there who assume because we're all brothers and sisters of the trail, we're all hikers, man. It's a big world tramily. Everything's cool, yeah. That everyone that they meet on the trail is someone that they can trust with anything, information, this and that, and oh yeah, everything's cool, bro. We can't do that. We see that in a lot of subgroups. I see that in used to see that in the science fiction convention. Well, this is a fellow convention goer, so everything's cool. I think I'll go alone with them to the Denny's. Oh, we never made it to the Denny's. Now I'm a missing person. It happens in the neo pagan groups. We're all brothers and sisters. Everything's fine. So I can trust this person because they say they're part of such and such coven. And, and it's the same thing in the hiking world. It is absolutely the same thing in the hiking world. And I'm sorry to tell you that not everybody on the trail is your brother or sister. They could be out there for all kinds of different reasons other than enjoying the outdoors, and that's just a fact of this planet. It sucks, but there it is. So, what do you think? As usual, say something in the comments or get a hold of me at hikingforhealthca@gmail.com. Do you think it's a good idea, a bad idea? Do you kind of understand my stance? Or do you think, no, everything's fine, we should just, who cares? Maybe it really is her boyfriend. Okay, maybe it really is. But I'm not rolling the dice for somebody else. Yeah, and like I say, I'm not happy about having to do that. But I'd rather err on the side of caution and have the boyfriend not know exactly how far ahead his girlfriend is than give some creepy stalker some information that could endanger somebody. So there it is. I tell you what, hiking sometimes. If it could just be just that beautiful walking down the trail, and for most of us it really is, I get it. And I can hear some folks out there, it's just like the racism on the trail and some of the other kind of stuff. Well, that's never happened to me. Oh, really? 6'2", big dude? You've never had someone stalk you on the trail? Weird. Gosh, I guess that means it doesn't exist and we shouldn't even talk about it and we shouldn't take precautions for it. It is, and that's always the big defense when it comes to sexism on the trail. You get all kinds of dude bros out there. Oh, I've never seen that. Some of these women are just, they're just snowflakes. They shouldn't be out there if they're so afraid. Same thing with racism on trail. Oh, I'm a middle-aged white guy. I've never seen any racism out there. Everything's fine. That's, yeah, you just have to say that, really? You've never seen it? Well, good for you. I haven't seen lots of things, but I still know they exist on this planet, so. Because people have said they do, and they're credible. So, yeah, there it is, rant over. Be careful out there on the trail so we all can enjoy it. And just keep that in mind, that unfortunately there are folks out there with nefarious, unfortunate motives for being out there, some of them stalkerish, And so we have to be careful not only with our own information, but with information on other people that you might know. If you know this person is out there and alone, and there's some random person that you really don't know, no matter who they say they are, you don't know them, asking about them, don't give them any information. Just, nope, haven't seen that person. It sucks we have to do that, little white lies, but like I say, err on the side of caution, then put somebody in danger. That's where I'm going to be. All right. That's about it, and I'll catch you next time.